Hey you guys, how are you guys doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good. Well, my name is Chandler. I'm going to be letting you guys know the importance of being able to swim at a young age. So, how would you guys feel if you didn't know how to swim?
Sad.
Right, it would be terrible not knowing how to swim. Swimming is like a second nature for a lot of people. So, you're doing it pretty much throughout the entire summer. If you're going out on a boat, you know, just even if you have a pool, those are also hot times to swim. So, lucky for me, I didn't have to go to any kind of classes to learn how to swim. I was just thrown into a pool and it was basically sink or swim at that point. So a lot of people don't have that luxury of just having a pool on hand. So a lot of people do have to go to community areas and learn how to swim and get different learning instructors, stuff like that. And that can be really expensive, having to go to community pools, stuff like that. So there's different things that we can do in our community to be able to get kids to learn how to swim instead of just turning into a statistic and not being able to swim all the way together. So I'm going to go over the importance of that with you guys and what you can do to be able to get that change in your community, because a lot of schools don't offer that to younger kids. So to start off with, people drown every day not knowing how to swim. They'll either end up in some kind of creek or river. Their car may go off the embankment and then just land into a puddle or some kind of pond, not knowing how to swim at that point. Yeah, it could really be something tragic. So there's honestly no true swimming classes for students, and while they're in elementary school, they don't have a choice. They just don't get that opportunity. They're just thrown out there. And then now they don't have that second nature that a lot of us have that advantage of. They're just sink or swim, no other option. So you don't want to end up like them. So there's different things we can do to prevent this. So what I'm implementing is that we start teaching kids to do this in schools, like elementary schools, probably not preschools. Well, maybe preschools, because that's like the best time for they can go and get that nature started of swimming. So without us giving them that opportunity, like a course in their elementary schools or any kind of school, we're not giving them a real reason to swim. We're just telling them, hey, you can learn how to swim or you don't have to learn how to swim. It's really, but if we make it part of their curriculum, then they don't have a choice but to swim to get that grade to go into the next course and then be able to move on and graduate from elementary school and then move on to daycare or middle school and high school and so on after that. So, excuse me. After that, we definitely need to start making it part of their grade, even if, and we have to all the way through high school, because it should be something that they are required to know how to do at the end of the school year. Or even, they should honestly know how to swim to graduate high school, if we want to take it that far. Now, unfortunately during my school curriculum, that wasn't part of it. We did have a swim team, but it wasn't required to be on the swim team to graduate from high school. It would probably be best if you were, so then there'd be less deaths and drownings from high school students or people all around, because there are a lot of adults that don't even know how to swim at this part of their life. Now, so then to start off with this, the course doesn't have to be the entire school year. It can mostly just be like the second part of the term or the semester, because the first part is August to December. Is not really a lot of chances to start swimming right then and there, because then it gets into colder months, unless you happen to have a community pool that's indoors. Now, a lot of places don't have that, or we don't have one here where I grew up at. Ours was just kind of sheltered just from rain and stuff like that. Now, what other people could do is that they could start it off in December, January, the beginning of it, and they can give them the basics until it gets a little bit warmer, and then, you know, they can just move on from there. And like, they could learn how to really start swimming in March, April, and then in May, it would be their final course, and that would be how they would pass the grade, or pass the course is having that final grade at the end of May, is whenever most school terms do graduate. So what I'm implementing is that that would make it more important for their grade overall, instead of them just thinking that it's like a extracurricular thing that they can do. So, and also a lot of kids probably really do want to learn how to swim instead of just thinking they don't have to, because they don't have a real voice in their actual school. So it's really up to the parents and the people in the community to be able to teach kids how to swim. Because if a student really wants to learn how to swim, they don't get that opportunity to tell them, especially like a first grader. They're not going to listen to whatever, the parents aren't going to listen to whatever a first grader has to say. That's probably like a 7 or 8 year old. So if I had to listen to a 7 or 8 year old, I probably wouldn't pay attention to them and just keep moving. Just because they don't have that big of a voice or impact in the school communities today. Now, there are different things that you can do in your day-to-day lives with your school, with the superintendent, different boards, different stuff like that. So a lot of schools offer parent-teacher meetings, or PTAs, parent-teacher association meetings, that they do have on a weekly to monthly basis. During this, you can voice your opinion for your kid on these, and a lot of parents probably would agree with this, thinking that their kids should learn how to swim, so that way they don't end up in like a pool or something like that they're not able to learn how to swim in. Because a lot of pools around here, they don't have gates around them. And if they do, then it's not some kind of, like, it's not a security gate, it's just a gate where they can just pop it open, throw the gate open, and then just walk on in. They can just fall straight into the pool, and then it's a done deal after that. You can also go to board meetings. A lot of schools or city councils offer board meetings. Once you're in the board meeting, you can also voice your opinion there. Again, this is for your kid because they don't have their own opinion to be able to speak out and let teachers and parents know exactly how they feel about the situation. So a lot of kids probably do want to know how to swim, but they don't get that opportunity to know how to swim. We can also suggest that we add it to the curriculum. Adding to the curriculum would make it much more important, and would make it a grade, so you can't pass into the next grade unless you have a C in this. Because learning how to swim is just like riding a bike, walking. You want to learn how to drive when you're 16, while when you want to learn how to swim when you turn 2. And it's just as important, because driving is a privilege, but swimming could probably save your life more so than driving could. Another thing we can do is that we can get a petition started for the community. So we could go door to door, or you could go door to door, asking different parents what they think. If we could get enough signatures, we could take it up to city council. They could change the curriculum for them. They could offer that to the superintendent or the school district to get that changed in their curriculum. So there's a lot of different things that we can do in our community to get this fixed, so that way not every kid is ending up like a statistic. I'm just letting you guys know this because nobody wants to end up like that and just floating on top of a body of water. Like in an ocean, you want to go to the beach and have fun and enjoy the water, different activities like that. Go to a water park, you don't want to have a lifeguard watching you the entire time, because then at that point, if they're not, they turn their back and you get caught by the rip tide or the rip current, or fall face first off the slide, something like that, into the water. You can't recover from that not knowing how to swim. So again, there are different things that we can do, because again, kids don't have their own voice to speak for themselves. Now, with you not having your own voice to speak for yourself, again, we can get those petitions. We can go to different meetings for them. We can also go to, we can get a petition started, go door to door, knocking on them. We just need to get the importance of knowing how to swim out to the community that you're in, and then they can get that changed for you guys or for your children, so they no longer have to worry about not knowing how to swim, and you won't have to worry about them at all if they want to go on vacation with a friend and them not knowing how to swim, and then you're the one who has to stop their joy because you never let them learn how to swim. It's not fair to the kid, and it's not fair to you guys to have to worry about them that often. So we should make it a part of the curriculum in different school districts, all the school districts across the country, for them to learn how to swim. So them knowing how to swim can change a lot of people's lives, and it can prevent a lot of other fatalities throughout the world or throughout the country. with us being able to change that for them. Is there any questions, you guys?
No, sir.
Okay, well, that's my speech. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank
It's
you,
my
Tim.
pleasure.